I'm reading through the story of the Exodus, and I'm often struck by this, that it took a visit from his father-in-law Jethro to tell Moses that he couldn't do it all alone. Maybe because of his experience as a shepherd, Jethro said you need to appoint under shepherds who will care for the people. I was reminded of a situation I found myself in last year. I'd had a tough week, however I finished work at 4 o'clock one evening, and because the sun shone I decided to get out on my bike. I was on a long straight road with a slight uphill gradient and a fierce headwind, and instead of being renewed I found myself weary, but there was a noise behind me, and suddenly 11 cyclists started to sprint past. They were in 5 pairs with one lad on his own at the back, and he shouted, "Get on." And with all the strength that I had, I got on. We made a 6th pair. I didn't know until later, but these were semi-professional cyclists from Belgium. All of a sudden, instead of feeling weary, I felt reinvigorated. Instead of crouching over my handlebars, I sat up and started to laugh. Why? Because the lads in front were now taking the strain. They were protecting me from the elements. I'm so thankful that God has not called me or you to ministry alone. Instead, he's put us to work alongside, to cooperate, to collaborate with others. Sometimes we will find ourselves on the front, but sometimes we need to rest and allow somebody else to take the strain. So I'm thankful that God has called me to a church where I'm supported. I know that that's not the case for all of us, but I want to encourage you to plug in to Kinetic Network. I want to encourage you to share your wisdom and share others' wisdom and experience as we call into leadership and ministry together for the good and for the glory of God. Amen.